evening. Good evening. Whoa. Good evening. There we are. First of all, thank you for coming out on this Good Friday. We're really glad that you're able to join us. We're doing something very different this evening. Certainly, we even tried to change the seating. Some of you are still determined to sit in your Sunday morning seats, but that's okay. You be you. There's no rules here. Just to let you know what we're going to be doing this evening, and that is we're going to be telling a story of basically the last 24 hours of the life of Christ. And it's a bit of a dramatic reading that we have taken a few creative liberties with. So let me be very clear. There's some things that you're going to hear tonight that you're going to be like, I didn't know that was in the Bible. It's not, but it could be. But we want to paint not just a factual story, but there's an emotional story. And also realizing that those 24 hours changed all of world history. And we wanted to approach this tonight of not just telling a story that changed history, but intersected time and divided heaven and earth, and it changed absolutely everything. So part of tonight, we want you to settle in and listen and receive and let your mind just paint the pictures of what these last 24 hours may have been like in the life of Christ. Parts that are unique. We're not going to refer to these later on, so you have one shot to pick them up. Ron is going to be narrating for us this evening. We have Rick playing the role of God tonight. I know. If you can't get God himself, you go with number 2. Pastor Larry is playing Jesus tonight. I am playing the role of Satan tonight. I'm not sure how to take that, actually. And Jeff is playing all the other characters. So let's settle in. I'm going to open up in prayer, and we're going to begin. Holy God, we thank you for this night of nights. Certainly as we gather in this space on this Good Friday, there are others all over the world gathering on this night also. As we each pause as followers of Christ to reflect, to be thankful, but also to feel the weight of this night and what it meant in history. And so, Lord, I pray that tonight our eyes would be open to maybe understand you in a way we haven't known before, or to have a deeper empathy of what Jesus went through that we didn't truly grasp before. Or maybe to have just a better understanding of truly how epic this story really is. Whatever it is, Lord, we pray that as a result of tonight, that as your followers, we will be more thankful, more appreciative, but mostly that we can walk a little bit more like Christ walked. His Spirit in ours to lead us, that we would be true followers. Holy God, I'm inviting your blessing over tonight. And for this, we thank you. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
It is the week of Passover in Jerusalem. Passover is the Jewish festival that remembers when God rescued his people from slavery in Egypt. Every year, families gather to share a meal and retell that story. Jerusalem is packed. Pilgrims have filled the streets. There are songs that drift through open windows, and lambs are being prepared for sacrifice. And in a borrowed upstairs room, 13 men gather around a low table. At the center of that table sits Jesus of Nazareth. For 3 years, these men have followed him. They've watched him heal people who were dying, calm storms with a word, challenge religious leaders, and talk constantly about something he calls the kingdom of God. They believe he is the Messiah, the promised deliverer. But they still don't understand what kind of deliverer he is. Tonight, Jesus knows something they don't. He knows this will be his final meal before his execution.
This is the night. Everything has been working toward this moment. The first Passover in Egypt and every lamb sacrificed since then. Every promise spoken through the prophets, all of it has been pointing to this table. My son knows exactly what is coming.
Does he really know what's coming? Not everyone at the table is loyal. One of them has been listening to my voice quietly, patiently, for weeks now.
The meal begins. Bread is passed and the wine is poured. The room feels warm and relaxed as their conversations fill the air, but something else is happening beneath the surface. One of the men sitting at the table is Judas Iscariot. Earlier that day, Judas made a private agreement with religious leaders who wanted Jesus arrested. He was paid 30 pieces of silver for the simple job of showing them where Jesus can be taken quietly away from the crowds. No one else at the table knows about this arrangement, but Jesus does.
Judas expected something different: power, revolution, a kingdom that would crush Rome. But Jesus keeps talking about humility, sacrifice, surrender. That's not the kingdom Judas wanted. So I gave him another option: 30 pieces of silver, a different path. Tonight, he's going to act.
You misunderstand something. Even now, Judas still has a choice. My son will wash his feet tonight, along with the others.
In the middle of the meal, Jesus unexpectedly stands up and the room goes quiet. He removes his outer robe, wraps a towel around his waist. Then he pours water into a basin. The men around the table are confused. In their culture, washing feet was the job of the lowest servant in the house. Roads were dusty, and because everyone wore open sandals, their feet were filthy. Teachers did not wash the feet of their followers. Masters did not kneel before students. But Jesus kneels, and he begins washing their feet. The disciples are uncomfortable. Their teacher, their leader, the one they believe might be the Messiah, is kneeling on the floor like a servant. They protest and argue with him, but Jesus calmly insists.
If you do not let me wash you, then you are missing the heart of all that I am trying to teach you.
So one by one, he humbly washed the dusty feet of his disciples, the feet that his very hands designed. And then he came to Judas. Jesus knows exactly what Judas has already decided to do, and still, he washed his feet too.
Even now, love kneels in front of betrayal. This is what my kingdom looks like. Not force, not domination, but love, given freely, even when it will be rejected.
Love? He's about to be betrayed by someone sitting at his own table. That's not victory. That's weakness.
After Jesus finishes washing their feet, they return to the table. But the mood has changed. The room feels heavier now. Jesus looks around at them, then he speaks.
One of you is going to betray me.
No one knows what to say. These are ordinary men. They're fishermen, a tax collector, workers, and friends. One after another, they begin asking him, "Lord, you don't mean me, do you?" Even Judas asks.
Surely not me, Rabbi.
Jesus looks directly at him.
You have said so.
There it is. He knows. And yet he still does nothing. He could stop Judas right now, expose him, turn the others against him, but he won't. He's walking straight into this.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Jesus picks up a piece of bread. He gives thanks. Then he breaks it.
Take this and eat it. This is my body broken for you for the remission of sins.
Then he lifts a cup of wine.
Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins.
The disciples don't fully understand what he means, but they know he is telling them something important. His body will be broken. His blood will be poured out. They wondered what he meant. They couldn't have known that this was the Messiah's path to salvation.
Salvation? No. Tomorrow there will only be death. By tomorrow night, he'll be abandoned, broken, humiliated, and when he dies, this whole movement dies with him.
Oh, is that what you think?
During the meal, Judas quietly stands up. No one stops him. Some assume he is leaving to buy something for the feast. Others think he is going to give money to the poor. No one realizes what is really happening. Judas walks to the door, steps into the stairway, and disappears into the night.
The darkness believes it is winning.
It is winning. Just wait.
Jesus looks at the 11 who remain. His voice is calm.
I will not be with you much longer. Where I am going, you cannot follow right now. But here's what I want you to do. Love one another in the very same way that I have loved you. That's how the world will know that you belong to me.
They still don't understand where he's going or what is about to happen. The disciple Peter insists he would follow Jesus anywhere, even to death. But Jesus quietly tells him something difficult. Before morning, before the rooster crows, he will deny even knowing Jesus 3 times. The disciples sing a traditional song all together, and after they walk down into the valley just east of the city and cross toward a familiar place, an olive grove called Gethsemane. The name Gethsemane means oil press. It is the place where olives are crushed so their oil can be released. Tonight something else will be pressed. The night air is cool. Jesus has come to the Garden of Gethsemane many times before to pray. It is quiet and familiar. He stops walking and turns to the disciples to say,
Sit here. Wait for me while I pray.
They sit near the entrance of the grove and watch Jesus as he walks farther into the trees. The weight on him is visible now. This is not the confident teacher they have followed for 3 years. Something is weighing heavily on him.
Yes. Feel it. The fear, the pain, the humiliation that is coming. You know what crucifixion looks like. You've seen Rome do this before. The nails, the suffocation, the crowd watching. You could stop this right now. Just walk away.
He already knows every step of this road. Nothing happening tonight surprises him.
Then why does he look like that? Why does he look like he might collapse?
Jesus walks a little farther into the garden and falls to the ground.
Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me.
When he says cup, he is not talking about wine. In the Hebrew scriptures, the cup often represents suffering, judgment, and wrath. Jesus knows what is coming. Rome does not execute people quickly. Crucifixion is slow, public, and humiliating. But even that is not the most difficult thing he is facing. He knows something else is coming. He will carry the weight of human sin. every lie, every act of cruelty, every hidden shame, every moment humanity chose darkness instead of light, all of it weighed upon him.
Yet, not my will, but yours be done.
You don't have to do this. Look at them. Your closest followers can't even stay awake. They will run away when the soldiers arrive. They will deny knowing you. Why suffer for people who abandon you?
Love does not measure worthiness before it acts.
Or maybe love is just a weakness.
Jesus slowly stands and walks back toward the disciples. They are asleep, completely unaware of the battle unfolding around them because they're exhausted from the long day of Passover preparations. The burden pressing on Jesus is not pressing on them, not yet.
Could you not stay awake for even 1 hour? Stay alert and pray. Temptation is coming. Your spirit may want to do what is right, but the flesh is weak.
They stir awake briefly, embarrassed and a little confused. They watch as Jesus turns and walks back into the darkness of the garden. He kneels again.
Father, again I pray, show me another way through this. But I accept, not my will, but yours be done.
Call the angels. You said they would come if you asked. End this now. You could leave this garden and disappear into the hills. The story ends here.
The story does not end here.
The night grows heavier. Jesus prays again. The Gospel of Luke tells us that his sweat became drops of blood falling to the ground, which can happen in moments of extreme distress. The pressure inside him is already beginning to break the surface.
He's about to break. Look at him. This is the moment.
No, this is the moment he chooses.
After some time, Jesus stands again. The struggle on his face has changed. The fear has not disappeared, but in its place is resolution and acceptance. His decision has been made. Jesus walks back to the disciples once more and finds them asleep again.
Are you still sleeping? The time has come. The Son of Man is about to be handed over to sinners. Get up. Right now we have to go. My betrayer is here.
At first, they hear it faintly. Voices, footsteps, the sound of metal moving. Then light from torches appear through the trees. There are even more voices. The quiet of the garden is gone now. The moment of surrender is about to become public.
There it is. The trap is set.
No, the rescue is beginning.
This is not a crowd of curious people. These are soldiers, Roman troops, along with temple guards sent by the religious leaders. They carry swords, clubs, torches. At the front of the group walks someone who knows exactly where to go, Judas.
There he is, right on time. 30 pieces of silver and a little courage. That's all it took.
Judas walks ahead of the soldiers. His pace slows as he approaches Jesus. The others watch from behind the trees, unsure of what is about to happen. Judas has told the soldiers how they would identify Jesus, not with shouting, not with pointing, with something ordinary, a greeting.
Rabbi,
He steps forward and kisses Jesus on the cheek. In that culture, it is a greeting of respect. Tonight is something else. It is the signal.
There it is. Now take him. End this tonight.
Jesus looks directly at Judas.
Hello, friend. Do what you came to do.
There's no anger in his voice, no panic, no attempt to escape. Jesus steps forward toward the soldier and says,
Who are you looking for?
The soldiers answer clearly. They came for one man, Jesus of Nazareth.
I am he.
When he says the words, something strange happens. The soldiers step backward. Several of them stumble and fall to the ground. No weapon was raised. No force was used. Just the authority in his voice. For a moment, the entire arrest pauses.
Remember this moment. He is not being taken. He is allowing this.
Soldiers, get up. Take him before you lose your nerve.
The soldiers recover and move forward again. Jesus speaks once more.
If you're looking for me, then let my disciples go.
Even now, in the middle of his arrest, he is protecting his followers. Hands grab him, ropes bind his wrists. The disciples who had followed him for 3 years froze. Then fear takes over and they run. One after another, they disappear into the darkness of the garden.
Look at that. Your closest followers couldn't even stay. They ran before the trial even started. Some kingdom.
Fear is loud in moments like this, but this story is not finished.
As the soldiers secure Jesus, something unexpected happens. In the confusion, one of the men in the crowd is injured. Violence flashes for a moment in the darkness, but Jesus immediately stops it. He refuses to allow his followers to fight. He speaks clearly.
Put the weapons away now. Those who live by the sword will die by the sword.
Then Jesus kneels beside the injured man. He touches the wound and heals him. The final miracle before the cross is healing someone who came to arrest him.
Why would he do that? Heal the enemy who came to bind him?
Because that is who he is.
Jesus stands again. He turns to the crowd who are holding the torches.
Every day I sat in the temple teaching openly. You did not arrest me there, but this is happening so that the words of the prophets will be fulfilled.
There is no resistance now, no struggle. Jesus stands calmly with his hands bound. The soldiers begin leading him out of the garden back toward Jerusalem, back toward the religious leaders who are waiting for him.
Look at him now, alone, bound, abandoned. This is how movements die.
No, this is how redemption begins.
The torches disappear through the trees as the soldiers lead Jesus back toward the city. The garden becomes quiet again. Only moments ago, it was filled with voices, weapons, and fear. Now it is empty. The arrest is complete, and the path to the cross has begun. It is still night. Jesus is led back through the gates of Jerusalem. The city is quieter now. Most people are asleep, but one house is fully awake, the home of Caiaphas, the high priest. Inside, lights burn for several rooms. Servants move quickly through the halls. Members of the religious council are arriving. Some are already waiting. Others were pulled from their beds and rushed here. This is not a normal trial. It is happening in the middle of the night. It is happening behind closed doors, and the outcome has already been decided. They're not asking if Jesus is guilty. They're trying to figure out how to prove it.
Yes, this is perfect. Use his own words against him. He talked about a kingdom. He talked about authority. He challenged their power in the temple. All they need is the right accusation.
Jesus is brought into the room. His hands are still bound. He's been awake all night. The council members watch him carefully. Caiaphas stands at the center of the room. He's the high priest. the most powerful religious authority in Jerusalem.
So this is the teacher from Galilee, the one stirring up crowds, the one people are calling Messiah.
Caiaphas circles slowly in front of Jesus, studying him, looking for weakness, looking for a mistake.
You've made quite a name for yourself. Crowds following you, miracles, they say, sermons about the kingdom of God. Tell me something. Do you really expect us to believe you were sent by God?
Jesus says nothing.
Jesus, answer him. Defend yourself. You could destroy his arguments in seconds.
Witnesses are brought forward one after another.
I heard him say he would destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days. Yes, he spoke against the temple.
But their stories do not match. Details are different. Their accusations contradict each other. The council grows frustrated. Caiaphas steps forward again.
Do you hear what these men are saying? They are accusing you of threatening the temple, the most sacred place in our nation. And you stand there silent. Have you nothing to say for yourself?
Jesus remains silent. The room grows tense. Caiaphas' patience begins to wear thin. He steps closer and his voice becomes sharper.
Enough of this. Let's stop playing games. I charge you under oath by the living God. Tell us the truth. Are you the Messiah? Are you the Son of God?
The entire room waits. This is the question behind everything. Messiah, the promised deliverer, the Son of God. A claim to authority that belongs to God alone. Jesus finally speaks.
You have said so, but I tell you this. From now on, you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of heaven.
The words land like thunder in the room. Jesus is quoting the prophet Daniel. He's claiming divine authority. Caiaphas reacts immediately. He grabs the edge of his robe and tears it.
Blasphemy! You heard him yourself. This man claims authority that belongs only to God.
He turns to the council.
What more evidence do we need? You heard his words. What is your verdict?
The response spreads through the room.
He deserves death. He is worthy of death.
Yes, there it is. Condemn him. End this.
The room erupts. Some step forward. Anger replaces restraint. Someone spits on him. Another strikes him across the face. Others join in, mocking and shouting.
If you're a prophet, tell us who hit you. Prophecy, Messiah?
Jesus does not retaliate. He does not fight back. He does not call down angels. He simply endures it.
Look at him, the so-called Son of God, beaten by his own people.
Strength does not always look like resistance. Sometimes strength is resisted.
The verdict has already been decided in their minds. Blasphemy. But they cannot execute him themselves. Rome must approve the sentence. So the next step will be to bring him before the Roman governor. But outside, another story is unfolding. In the courtyard below, a fire burns. Guards warm themselves in the cold night air. Someone else is standing there too, watching from a distance, listening and waiting. Before this night is over, another break will happen, not in this courtroom, but beside that fire. While Jesus is questioned inside the house of the high priest, one of his closest followers waits outside. The courtyard is open to the night air. Stone walls surround it, torches flicker along the edges. And in the middle of the courtyard, a small charcoal fire burns. Guards and servants gather around it to keep warm. Among them stands Peter. He tries not to stand out, not too close to the doorway where Jesus is being questioned, not too far away either, close enough to see movement inside, close enough to hear raised voices, but far enough that no one might notice him. Just a few hours earlier, Peter had made a bold promise. He said he would stand with Jesus no matter what happened. He said he would even die with him. But promises made in a quiet room feel different than in a courtyard full of soldiers. Inside, Jesus is being accused. Inside, voices are shouting. Outside, Peter stares into the fire and tries to act normal.
Look at him, the brave one, the loud one, the one who said he would die for his teacher. Fear changes people quickly. Just wait, it won't take much.
Someone near the fire studies Peter's face in the light, his accent, his nervous posture. Something about him seems familiar. Voices begin to whisper. People begin to connect the pieces. This man was with Jesus. Peter reacts immediately.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The words come quickly, almost automatically. He shifts his position, moves away from the fire, moves closer to the outer gate of the courtyard, but the suspicion does not disappear. Others nearby begin to look more carefully. Again, the accusations come. This man was with Jesus. Peter shakes his head more firmly this time.
I swear I don't know the man.
There it is, one step further. The first denial was instinct. This one is a decision. Keep going.
The tension grows. The longer Peter stays, the more dangerous the courtyard feels. A small group nearby begins discussing him openly now. They are convinced. His voice, his accent, the way he reacts, everything about him points to the same conclusion. He was with Jesus. Peter panics. His voice rises.
I don't know the man.
The words come out harsher now. He even curses as he says it, as if stronger language might erase the connection. And then a sound breaks through the night. A rooster crows. The courtyard goes quiet for a moment. And suddenly Peter remembers. Just hours earlier, Jesus had warned him, "Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." The memory crashes into him all at once.
Look at him. This is the one who said he would never fall. This is the rock the others followed, and he couldn't even last a few hours. If this is the foundation of your movement, it won't survive the week.
You see failure. I see the beginning of humility.
Humility? He just abandoned his teacher.
No, he just discovered the truth about himself. And that is where transformation begins.
At that moment, Jesus is moved across the courtyard under guard. For a brief second, their eyes meet. Peter freezes. He expects anger and disappointment, condemnation. But that is not what he sees. He sees sorrow, compassion.
Yes, let him feel it. Let the shame crush him. Let it end him.
No, this moment will shape him. One day, he will stand before crowds without fear. But tonight, he must see who he is without grace.
Peter cannot hold the gaze. He turns and stumbles toward the outer gate, out of the courtyard, out into the darkness behind the walls. And there he breaks. He begins to weep. Not quiet tears, not controlled grief, but deep, shaking sobs. The kind that comes when pride collapses, the kind that comes when someone realizes how far they've fallen. Behind him, the trial continues. Inside the house, Jesus stands under accusation. But outside the courtyard, one disciple has already fallen apart.
Your followers are collapsing. One betrayed you, another denied you, the rest ran away. This kingdom is already falling apart.
You still do not understand.
Then explain it.
Seeds break before they grow, and before the sun rises, you will think you have won.
The night continues. The accusations continue. The path toward the cross moves forward, and somewhere beyond the court walls, Peter weeps in the darkness, while the first light of dawn slowly approaches. Morning is beginning to break over Jerusalem. The sky is slowly shifting from black to deep blue. The long night of accusations has ended. The religious council has already made their decision. In their minds, Jesus deserves death. But there's a problem. Under Roman rule, they cannot carry out an execution themselves. Only Rome can approve a crucifixion. So Jesus is led through the streets to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. Pilate's not a religious leader. He's a political authority. Rome placed him here for one reason: keep order, prevent rebellion, protect Roman interests. That's his job. Nothing more, nothing less.
Perfect. Religion started this. Now politics will finish it. Power always protects itself.
Jesus is brought to the governor's palace. The religious authorities remain outside the building. Entering the home of a Gentile during Passover would make them ceremonially unclean. So they stand outside demanding an execution while protecting their ritual purity. Pilate steps outside to address them. He's irritated. He did not plan to start his morning with this.
What exactly are you accusing this man of?
The response is vague. They do not want to debate. They want a verdict. They insist the man is dangerous. They insist he deserves death. Pilate's not convinced. He tells them to judge Jesus themselves, but they press the issue again. They remind him that Rome alone has authority to execute someone.
Yes, corner him. Force him to make a decision.
Pilate sighs and orders Jesus brought inside the palace. Now the room is quieter. No shouting crowd, no council chamber. Just a Roman governor and a prisoner standing in front of him. Pilate studies the man carefully. He's seen rebels before. They're loud, they're angry and defiant. But this man is calm.
Are you the king of the Jews?
Now that question matters politically. If Jesus claims to be king, Rome could see that as a rebellion against Caesar. Jesus answers clearly.
Is that your own question? Or did others tell you to ask it?
Am I a Jew? Your own people handed you over to me. So tell me, what did you do?
My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my followers would be fighting even right now. They would have stopped my arrest. But my kingdom comes from somewhere else.
Pilate pauses. That is not the answer he expected.
So you are a king then?
Will you say that I am a king? The reason I was born, the reason I came into this world, was to speak the truth. Anyone who belongs to the truth listens to me.
Pilate looks at him quietly. Then he asks a question that sounds more tired than curious.
What is truth?
He does not wait for an answer. Pilate walks back outside to the crowd.
I see no reason to charge this man with anything.
No, that cannot happen. This must end in death.
The crowd grows louder. Accusations increase. Voices begin shouting for crucifixion. Pilate feels the tension building. Passover is already a volatile time in Jerusalem. Thousands of pilgrims fill the city. If a riot begins, Rome will hold him responsible.
Push him. Let fear do the work. Political survival is stronger than justice.
Pilate tries another approach. There is a custom during Passover. The governor releases one prisoner as a gesture of goodwill. Pilate thinks this might solve his problem. He steps forward again.
It is your custom for me to release one prisoner at Passover. Do you want me to release the King of the Jews?
Pilate hopes the crowd will choose Jesus. He still sees no threat in that man. But the crowd is not calming down. The shouting grows stronger. The pressure builds.
Yes, turn them. Fear is contagious. Anger spreads fast. Watch how quickly justice disappears.
Pilate begins calculating. This is no longer about guilt or innocence. This is about control and stability. It's about protecting his own position. Inside the palace stands a man who speaks about truth. Outside the palace stands a crowd demanding blood. Two kingdoms are colliding.
Look at him now. Your son stands alone. No followers, no army, no rescue coming. This is the end.
You think this moment belongs to you, but you only see the surface of the story.
He will be executed within hours. What possible victory could come from that?
You will see soon enough.
Pilate looks again at Jesus, bruised, bound, but completely calm. The governor senses that something unusual is happening here, but he cannot see the full picture, and the noise of the crowd continues to grow. The decision is getting closer, and the cross is now only hours away. Morning has fully arrived in Jerusalem. Word spreads quickly through the city. A crowd gathers outside the Roman governor's palace. Some came because they're curious. Some came because they're angry. Others were stirred up before sunrise and told something important was happening. Passover week always carries tension. The city is packed with pilgrims. Rome increases its military presence during this festival every year. Thousands of people remembering freedom from Egypt. Thousands hoping for freedom from Rome. All it takes is a spark for a crowd to ignite.
And crowds ignite easily. Fear spreads faster than truth. Watch what happens next.
Pilate steps forward again. Jesus stands nearby, bruised and bound. The crowd grows louder as more people arrive. Pilate raises his voice so everyone can hear him.
It is your custom for me to release one prisoner during Passover. Which prisoner do you want released?
There are two men the crowd could choose. One is Jesus, a teacher, a healer, a man accused of claiming to be king. The other prisoner is Barabbas, a man known for violence, someone who had taken part in rebellion against Rome, someone who fought the empire with force. Many people in the crowd understand that kind of resistance. It feels powerful. It feels immediate.
Yes, give them Barabbas. Give them the man who answers power with power. People understand violence.
Pilate likely believes the decision will be simple. Release the teacher. Keep the violent rebel imprisoned. But the crowd is already shifting. People begin shouting a name. Barabbas. At first it is scattered, then it spreads. Soon the entire courtyard is filled with the same demand. The violent rebel must be released.
There it is. They chose the kingdom they understand.
Pilate gestures toward Jesus again.
Then what should I do with this man called the Messiah?
The response comes quickly and loudly. The crowd begins shouting for crucifixion. Crucifixion is Rome's most brutal execution. It is slow and public. It's designed to humiliate and terrify. Pilate looks at the crowd in disbelief.
Why? What crime has he committed?
But reason rarely survives inside an angry crowd. The shouting only grows louder.
Yes, let anger take over. Justice disappears when crowds start shouting.
The noise increases. The demand is now unified. Crucify him! Crucify him! Pilate realizes the situation is slipping out of control. If a riot begins during Passover, Rome will blame him. His career, his position, even his life could be at risk. So Pilate does something symbolic. He calls for water. In front of the entire crowd, he washes his hands.
I am not responsible for this man's blood. This decision belongs to you.
The crowd responds immediately. They accept the responsibility without hesitation. Barabbas is released. His chains are removed. He walks free, while Jesus remains bound.
Look at that. A murderer walks free, and the innocent man takes his place. Your kingdom is collapsing. Your followers are scattered. Your son is condemned by his own people. This is the end.
You are watching the surface of the story.
No, I'm watching victory. The crowd has spoken. Rome will carry out the sentence. He will be dead before sunset.
And yet you still do not see what is happening.
Pilate gives the order. Jesus will be flogged. Roman soldiers take him away. The crowd begins to scatter through the streets. Some feel satisfied, some feel uneasy. Some have already moved on with their day. But something deeper has happened here. An exchange has taken place. A guilty man walks free. An innocent man walks toward a cross.
Yes, towards death, toward defeat.
Toward redemption.
You keep saying that word, redemption. Explain how death becomes victory.
You will understand soon enough.
The soldiers lead Jesus away from the courtyard, toward a brutal beating, toward a cross waiting outside the city walls. The crowd fades into the streets of Jerusalem. The crowd outside the governor's palace slowly begins to thin out. Some people leave satisfied, others walk away uneasy. But inside the Roman compound, something far more brutal is about to begin. Jesus has been sentenced to flogging. This is not a small punishment. Roman flogging is designed to destroy the body before execution even begins. The prisoner is stripped. His hands are tied to a wooden post. The whip used in this punishment is made of several leather strands. Small pieces of bone and metal are tied onto the ends. Each strike is meant to cut. Each strike is meant to tear.
Yes, break him now. Make the body fail before he even reaches the cross. Let the suffering drain the strength out of him.
The beating begins. The whip cracks across his back, then again and again, each strike opening his skin. Blood begins running down his back and onto the stone beneath him. Roman executions are not careful, they're measured. They're meant to send a message. This is what happens to anyone Rome decides to crush.
Where are the angels now? Where's the rescue? You said heaven could answer his call, but heaven is silent.
Nothing happens here without outside by sight. Every wound is seen, every drop of blood is known.
The flogging continues. Eventually, his body grows weaker, but there's no record of him begging for mercy. No curses, no threats, just endurance. When the beating finally stops, the humiliation continues. Those carrying out the punishment begin mocking the idea that Jesus is a king. They gather around him. Someone twists together branches covered in long thorns. They press the thorns down onto his head. Spikes cut into his scalp. Blood begins to run down his face. Then a robe is thrown across his shoulders, a faded purple robe, the color associated with royalty. But this is not an honor, it is mockery. They bow in exaggerated gestures, pretending to salute a king. They laugh, they strike him again. A stick is placed into his hand like a king's scepter. Then it is taken and used to hit him across the head, each blow driving the thorns deeper.
Look at him now, your king, bleeding, mocked, humiliated in front of everyone. Where is his kingdom now?
You measure victory by appearances.
What else is there? Look at him. He's barely standing.
The mocking continues. They spit, they hit, they laugh. Cruelty can become an entertainment when people stop seeing someone as human. Eventually, the robe is ripped back off. The cloth sticks to the wounds on his back. When it is pulled away, the bleeding begins again. His own clothes are placed back on him. Soon he will be forced to carry a cross outside the city.
This is almost finished. The body cannot survive much more. Soon he will collapse completely, and when he dies, your plan dies with him.
You still misunderstand the plan.
Then explain it, because from where I stand, this looks exactly like defeat.
Jesus stands there in the courtyard, his body torn from the beating, blood running down his face from the crown of thorns. Every step now will require effort, but inside him remains steady. Not pride, not anger, but something deeper. Purpose.
Purpose? He's being executed.
Yes,
You say that as if it's a victory.
you will understand soon enough.
The beating is finished. The mocking is finished. Now the next part begins. The cross is waiting, and the road to it is about to begin. Jesus is led out of the city. Roman executions are not hidden. They are public. They're meant to be seen. The condemned man is forced to carry the horizontal beam of his own cross. The wood is rough. It's heavy. It presses against a back already torn open from the flogging. The streets of Jerusalem are now full. Some people have come out to watch. Some whisper, some weep, but others mock openly.
Yes. Let them see it. Let everyone see what happens to someone who claims authority.
The hill outside the city is called Golgotha. The name means place of the skull, a rocky rise where Rome performs its executions. Jesus struggles as he walks. The beating has already drained his strength. Several times he stumbles under the weight of the beam. Eventually, the cross is carried the rest of the way by someone forced from the crowd. The procession continues until they reach the hill. The execution begins quickly. His clothes are removed. The crossbeam is placed on the ground, and Jesus is laid down on it. Nails are driven through his wrists, through his feet. The cross is lifted upright and dropped into the hole prepared for it. The body pulls his body downward. Breathing becomes difficult. Every breath requires pushing against the nails. 2 other men are crucified nearby, one on each side. Above Jesus' head is a sign that's placed so everyone can read it. It says, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews."
Hey, look at him. your king hanging between criminals. This is not a throne. This is humiliation.
Crowds gather at the base of the hill. Some shout insults, others simply watch.
He saved others. Let him save himself now. If he really is the Son of God, he should come down from that cross.
Yes, come down, prove it, end this right now.
One of the criminals crucified beside him joins the mocking, but the other sees something different. He admits his own guilt. Then he turns towards Jesus. He asks to be remembered when Jesus comes into his kingdom. Even here, even while dying, Jesus answers with mercy.
Today you will be with me in paradise.
Still offering mercy? Look around. Your followers ran away. The crowd hates you. You're dying slowly in front of them. This is victory for me.
You still measure victory by survival.
And what else matters? He is about to die.
Hours pass. The sun climbs higher in the sky. Then something strange begins to happen. Darkness spreads across the land. It's not evening, it's not sunset. It's an unnatural shadow. The sky grows dim, the air becomes heavy. From the cross, Jesus speaks again.
My Father, forgive them, because they don't know what they're doing.
Even now, forgiveness.
Forgive them? They're killing you. And you forgive them?
Because they do not understand what they are doing.
Oh, I understand perfectly. This is the end of him and this movement.
Jesus' body grows weaker. Each breath takes more effort. At one point, he says he's thirsty. A sponge soaked in sour wine is lifted toward his lips. He tastes it, then gathers strength for one final declaration.
It is finished.
Not I am finished. It is finished. The work, the mission, the cost is complete. Then he lowers his head and breath leaves his body.
There. It's over. Your son is dead. This entire movement dies with him. You lost.
No, you misunderstood the battle.
He's hanging on a cross. Explain how that's victory.
Because the sacrifice has been made, the debt has been paid, love did not retreat.
The ground begins to shake. Rocks split open. The sky remains dark. People begin leaving the hill. The execution appears finished. 3 crosses stand against the dark sky. 3 bodies hanging in silence. But something deeper has happened. Something the crowd cannot see. Something even Satan does not fully understand. The cross was meant to intimidate, to silence, to crush. Instead, it has become something else. The place where the innocent carries the guilt of the guilty. The place where mercy refuses to surrender. The hill slowly grows quiet. The body remains, and the weight of what has happened begins to settle over the city. Suddenly, the ground begins to tremble. The hill shakes beneath the crosses. Rocks split apart. Dust rises into the dark sky. People who remain nearby step back in fear. Something larger than an execution is happening.
The offering has been received. What was promised has been completed. The separation between heaven and humanity is breaking.
Breaking? He is dead. Explain how death helps your cause.
At that same moment, something happens far away from the hill. Inside the temple in Jerusalem, a massive curtain hangs. It separates the holy place from the most holy place. Behind that curtain is the symbolic dwelling place of God. Only the high priest may pass through it, and only once each year. The curtain is enormous. It's thick and heavy. It's impossible to move casually. But at that exact moment Jesus dies, that curtain tears. It does not tear from the bottom upward as if pulled by human hands. It tears from the top downward, as if something from above has opened it.
The barrier is removed. The distance is gone. The way is open.
You tore a curtain. That changes nothing. Your son is still hanging on a cross.
Back at the hill, people are staring at the crosses. Some who witness the darkness and the earthquake begin whispering to each other. They realize something unusual has just happened. Some leave quickly. Others remain frozen in place.
Look around. He is still dead. You cannot build a kingdom with a corpse.
You still cannot see what has happened.
Oh, I see it clearly. The disciples ran away. The crowd rejected him. Rome executed him. This story is finished.
Later, those overseeing the execution confirm that Jesus has already died. There is no breath, no movement, no resistance. A spear is driven into his side, to be certain. Blood and water flow from the wound. The proof is undeniable. Jesus is dead.
There it is. Final. Complete. I win.
You believe this is the end because you cannot see beyond the grave.
There is nothing beyond the grave.
The sky slowly begins to brighten again. The strange darkness begins to lift. The trembling of the earth stops, and 3 crosses stand still on that hill. 3 bodies hanging against the sky. To everyone watching, it appears that Rome has won, that death has won, that the story of Jesus has ended.
Admit it. It's over.
No, it has only just begun.
The strange darkness over the land slowly fades. The sky begins returning to normal, but the heaviness of the moment remains. The Sabbath is approaching. In Jewish tradition, no work can be done once the Sabbath begins. Bodies cannot remain on crosses during the holy day, so there's urgency. 2 men step forward quietly to take responsibility for the body of Jesus. They were not shouting in the crowd earlier. They were not part of the mob demanding crucifixion. They had watched everything from a distance. One of them is Joseph of Arimathea, a respected member of the Jewish council. A man with influence and status, but privately he has also become a follower of Jesus. The other man is Nicodemus, a Pharisee. He once came to Jesus secretly at night asking questions about the kingdom of God. Now he comes openly in daylight. They request permission to remove the body from the cross. Permission is granted. The cross is lowered. The nails are carefully removed. The body of Jesus is taken down from the wood. The body that once walked through villages healing the sick, the hands that touched lepers, the voice that calmed storms, now completely still.
Look at him. Motionless, silent, dead. This is the king you promised.
You still measure victory by breath and heartbeat.
Because when breath stops, life ends. That is how the world works.
The two men prepare the body for burial. Nicodemus has brought a mixture of burial spices, myrrh and aloes, nearly 75 pounds of it. This is an extravagant amount. They wrap the body carefully in linen cloth, layer by layer, according to Jewish burial custom. They work quickly. The Sabbath is approaching fast. Near the place of crucifixion, there is a garden. Inside the garden is a new tomb carved out of rock. The tomb had never been used. It was prepared for Joseph himself. Tonight, it will hold someone else. They carry the body into the tomb, and they place Jesus inside.
There. It is finished. A body in a grave, a stone at the entrance. You cannot build a kingdom from a tomb.
A large stone is rolled across the entrance. The grinding sound of stone against rock echoes through the garden, heavy, final, and sealed.
Listen to that sound. That is the sound of defeat. The movement is finished. The disciples are hiding. The crowds have moved on. Your son is buried. I told you this would happen.
You have always misunderstood the story.
No, I understand perfectly. The Messiah is dead.
The seed has been planted.
Planted, this is burial.
Sometimes the two look the same.
You keep speaking in riddles. He is dead. Explain how this becomes victory.
You will see soon enough.
The sun drops lower in the sky. The Sabbath begins, and Jerusalem grows quiet again. Disciples hide behind locked doors. Fear and confusion fill their thoughts. The tomb remains sealed. The stone does not move. Everything appears finished.
Admit it. This is the end.
No.
Then where is your victory?
Just you wait.
We're asking of you. We're asking of you this evening as we sit in this story of certainly a brutal telling of something that divided history. But the fact that what happened on a Friday evening was not the end of the story. Sunday is coming. Our hope for you as you even leave tonight, that you can live in this tension between sacrifice and resurrection. And I look forward to seeing all of you Sunday morning as we celebrate the resurrection of our King. Thank you all for being here tonight. We pray this was a blessing for you. God bless you all. Take care.